But first of all, I want to say I forgive Will Smith for not doing Independence Day 2. I forgive him now that I've seen Deadshot in Suicide Squad. Amazing. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Ella Nitri, and I'm going to be bringing you everything from movies, music, TV shows, because I am an entertainment junkie. So this is my first video, and I want to say, first of all, welcome to my channel, everybody. Welcome, and I hope to, that you guys will stick around. But my first review is going to be this movie that, this hype has been built around for quite a minute, like for some months now, and that's Suicide Squad. I had a chance to go see Suicide Squad on opening night last night. The theater was lit. It was packed in there. You had all kinds of people dressed up in looking like Harley Quinn, looking like Batman. They were like, it felt like a mini Comic-Con or whatever, but it was cool. It was dope. The place was packed. We had so much fun. So anyway, I just wanted to come here and give you my thoughts of the movie. And and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a huge comic book fan. One of my good friends had been trying to get me in there, like comic books, graphic novels and everything, and other things like that, but I've just never been that person who's been into like comic books and graphic novels. So I haven't read the Batman, any of the DC universe things, not comic books or anything like that, but I do know a good movie when I see one. And I'm into like every genre. I'm horror, action, comedy, whatever. Like, that is me. Like, I've been loving movies for so long. But anyway, and I think that I'm gonna give you a real good take of what I felt, or how I felt about the movie, because it's been getting a lot of mixed reviews. Like, I've been reading a lot of things here and there, and I've been seeing a lot of different mixed reviews. So first, the movie opens up with, in this maximum security prison, right? All of these super psychotic villains are in there. You have Deadshot, your girl Harley Quinn, El Diablo, Slingshot, Captain Boomerang. All of them are placed inside this maximum security prison. So that's how the movie opens up. It opens up with Will like going real hard or whatever on the punching bag that he made out of, looked like a prison mattress or whatever. But it was pretty dope. It was real dope. So that's how it opens. And so we see a girl, Amanda Waller. She is, everybody who knows anything about the DC universe know who Amanda Waller is. She's like this big government agent. Just, she's the big shit on campus pretty much, and she runs the show. Amanda Waller in here, she has come to the decision that she wanted to create this whole mini army of villains that were in this maximum security prison. So like I said, you got your boy Deadshot, who's like this super assassin that's freaking amazing. Like, just a super assassin, Deadshot. The name fit him perfectly. You have Harley Quinn, who we all know Harley Quinn was the Joker's girlfriend. She was originally his doctor, who he manipulated or whatever, and she became, she fell in love with him or whatnot. So you have that entire factor of it. And let's get to the Joker. So the Joker, that has been getting a lot of mixed reviews too, because for the simple fact, everybody wants to compare Jared Leto's character of the Joker, the one that's in Suicide Squad. They want to compare that character to Heath Ledger's Joker, which was in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. And I'm gonna tell you, there's really no comparison in the two. Christopher Nolan knew what he wanted to do with Heath Ledger, not taking anything away from Heath Ledger's Joker or anything, but Christopher Nolan as a director knew exactly what he wanted to do with Heath Ledger's character. And the Joker in Dark Knight Rises was so diabolical. Like, this dude was like, I mean, crazy on a whole other level, you know, a whole other level of crazy. So, and like I said, Christopher Nolan knew, like, he wanted a more diabolical Joker. You know, in the past we've been seeing Jokers who were, you know, the Jokers were evil, but they still had like this, kind of like comedy thing going on or whatever. But in this Joker, Jared Leto's Joker, I would say was, you know, a little comedic too. But like I say, I love him. I definitely want to see, after this movie last night, I have to have in my life a Harley Quinn Joker movie. Like, can you make that happen? Can you make that happen, DC Universe? Like, I need that in my life. But you had some appearances, but back to the Suicide Squad. Yeah, you had some appearances from, you had like some cameos, a cameo from Batman, Ben Affleck Batman. We got a chance to see the Flash in this movie for a brief second. And you know, it was a really, I'm just gonna say hands down, it was a really good movie. Like, it was really good. I mean, DC stepped it up after that whole Batman versus Superman fiasco, or whatever. They stepped it up with this movie, and like I say, hands down, Will Smith killed that shit. Like, he killed it. And it was so, I mean, he was dope. And I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Deadshot movie, but Harley Quinn, that's my girl. Like, I love me some Harley Quinn, and I love Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn. Like, she was so amazing. She was funny. She was so charismatic. Like, she was just amazing. And I really like seeing her in that role. I like the chemistry that she had with Deadshot. I like the chemistry that she had with Jared Leto playing the Joker. So back to the story. It was, you know, Amanda Waller decided that, which was played by Viola Davis, which she handled business. You know, I'm not gonna say that she was the best Amanda Waller, because I haven't seen all of them. You know, I've seen a list of the women who played them, from like Angela Bassett. I think she played Amanda Waller in Green Lantern. And you had CCH Pounder, who played Amanda Waller in that Superman show that was on WB, I believe. So, but I haven't seen every woman that's played Amanda Waller. But my thing, Viola Davis killed it. She was so amazing. But yeah, so her character, so Amanda Waller decided that she was going to create this army of villains that were gonna somehow, you know, save the world from a bad Batman or whatever. You know, that was her reason for doing it. But I mean, at the end of the day, she was a manipulative bitch, you know, and that's the reason she wanted to control, you know, the world. She wanted to control what she wanted to control. So that's how that all came about. So so she did that, and she you know, went in and got Deadshot, and, you know, rounded all these guys up. She had her boy, second in command, Rick Flag, come in, and, you know, she had him pretty much doing all her dirty work while she, you know, sat in the office or whatever, or back in her little area or whatnot. But she did a good job playing that particular character. Also, I mean, the action in this movie was phenomenal. Like, the action scenes were so great. So the movie is centered around Amanda Waller, like I said, creating this super army of villains. Well, to me, it was a mini army, because it wasn't, how many was it? It wasn't even 10 people in this army. So she had one of the army of with Deadshot, Harley Quinn, El Diablo, Slingshot, Captain Boomerang, the Enchantress, Killer Croc. So it was probably about 7 people that she was, like I say, she creating this mini army. And and that's how she pitched it to the general, was that she wanted them to be able to fight off like a bad Superman, if a Superman who didn't have, human values or whatever, if he transcended upon us, she wanted to know, how to fight, how they would end up fending something like that off. And the only thing she could come up with was creating this army or whatever. So that was that. So what happened, so this ended up being the plot of it. So she decided that she was going to, have Rick Flag head up this army or whatever. So, and in the beginning, I mean, she was manipulating Rick Flag. I mean, she had him fall in love with Dr. Moon, who was, her body was, invaded by the Enchantress. The Enchantress, like this, everybody who follows the DC universe know who the Enchantress is. But for those who don't, she is a sorceress, pretty much, who was born thousands and thousands of years ago. And Dr. Moon was a theologist. In this particular, suicide, in this particular plot for Suicide Squad, this is, who she was. She was, Dr. Moon, apparently, the theologist, went over in this, to some other remote part of the world. She ended up going into this ancient cave or whatnot, and she she accidentally resurrected the Enchantress, who then invaded her body. And so it was Dr. Moon and the Enchantress took her body as a source to live off of. So she would go back from being Dr. Moon to the Enchantress, and Dr. Moon kind of had control over her, but not really. She could say like Enchantress, and then she would come, and and then the Enchantress would appear from Dr. Moon's from her body or whatever, and then she would no longer be Dr. Moon, she would be the Enchantress. You know how that goes. It's played out in a whole bunch of different movies. But anyway, so that happened. And so and Amanda Waller was controlling the Enchantresses. She could control Dr. Moon and the Enchantress, because she had access to the Enchantress's heart. Her heart was buried somewhere in that cave. Amanda Waller got a hold of it, and she kept the Enchantress's heart in this box, and she could control her heart. Like if she stabs her heart or whatever, she'll feel the pain and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, to make a long story short, the Enchantress, she knew what Dr. Waller was trying to do. I mean, she was with her as Dr. Moon in all of these meetings that she was having with, the generals and all these other important people who could make decisions, or these, other decision makers. So she was in the room with her. She knew that she was trying to, use them to build this army. So what she did, she decided that she was going to, and I guess, it got to the point where Dr. Moon couldn't control the Enchantress as much as she could before. And so the Enchantress got away. She escaped somehow, got away. She wasn't going to be a part of this army. She was going to build her own army, take over the world, and, do all this crazy shit. Everything that you see in a show like this or a movie, the normal plot for these type of superhero villainous movies or whatever. So anyway, the Enchantress escapes. She goes off to try to free her brother, who is a sorcerer. Like, she's a sorceress, and she used some man's body as a vessel to have her brother's spirit enter it, and all that type of magical shit. It was a lot of magical shit going on top of superhero shit, and just a lot going on. But I just want to say, hands down, my girl Harley Quinn was fucking amazing. She was amazing. Margot Robbie killed that shit. Like, she killed it. And Harley Quinn was this little, crazy psychotic girl who was, I mean, even though we know she was brainwashed by the Joker and, he got in her head and turned her into this whole little, psychotic person, or, pretty much the female version of himself. She really, that was the best part of the movie, like her little antics and just her little phrases and everything. I mean, she was kicking ass, she was looking good. I'm like, I need to find out her workout plan for that movie, because the body was on point. She was on point. And like I said, the chemistry between she and Jared Leto was so good. People want to complain, and and another thing, when I watched a lot of reviews, a lot of people were talking about how the movie, they were saying how, like, the soundtrack for the movie, like, it was just too much, and too much music and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I didn't see where the music was a problem. I'm a music lover, and I feel like the music was placed, in a good spot. Like, the movie was placed correctly. Everything fell into place like it should have been. It was pretty fucking dope. Like, I can't complain about the music, because when I first started looking at reviews of this, I looked at a lot of spoiler-free reviews, because, I guess the big reviewers, they get a chance to see the movie before it actually hits theaters or whatnot. But I got a chance to see this movie and see the music, and from what I was getting from a lot of the reviewers, just like, it was just music, poorly placed music. But all in all, it was placed good to me. Like, I have no complaints about it. They had like some Eminem in there, just a whole lot of different music, like a lot of pop music that you would know. But it was pretty dope, so I can't complain about that. Also, like I say, the action points were so good. Once they started fighting this, like I said, the Enchantress was trying to build her own army. Her army looked like some black, I don't know, some jello looking dudes. Like, what happened was, when she resurrected her brother was going around using his tentacles, like these long tentacles or whatever, because he was like big as fuck. Like, he was way bigger than her, and he was using his tentacles to go out and like grab people, and when he touched them, he would turn them into these black blob looking monsters that were like, that they had control of their mind, and they could, they were the army that they were building. So that's what happened with that. So that's how their army was built. But I mean, like I say, the action scene, kicking major ass. Like, I mean, Deadshot was, I mean, shooting them down, just getting them. He was handling business. El Diablo, who has the most pronounced power, like, this dude got fucking fire coming from his hands. Like, he was the one that was real passive, and he didn't want to join the army. He didn't want to become a part of the squad. He just wanted to, live in, as peaceful as he could, being in prison or whatever. But he just didn't want to have like any part of Amanda Waller's plot, because she had promised them some things or whatever, that she was going to help them if they helped her and all this kind of, shit. But, just Amanda Waller being Amanda Waller, a bitch, pretty much, But she, back to El Diablo, like I say, he had the most profound powers out of the whole crew, and he wouldn't use them. Like, I mean, he went through at least, half of the movie or over half of the movie before he used his powers, which, like I say, this dude had fire. He could shoot fire from his freaking hands. But You know, and I understand why he didn't want to use his powers like that, because, he had gotten so mad at one point, and, he ended up killing his entire family, by having, that particular power, and he was born with it. From what we understand, he was born with that power. So, but yeah, toward the end of the movie, not really the end, but getting closer to the end than it was to the beginning. He ended up, using his powers to kind of get them out of like this super sticky situation with the army that the sorceress, the Enchantress, and her brother had created or whatever. But I mean, I'm just gonna say, all in all, it was a great movie. I mean, it really made me, all in all, it was a dope movie. It was good. It gave me what I needed. To me, it seemed like people who were in the theater, they were satisfied, they were happy. As soon as the movie was over, everybody stood up, they started clapping or whatever. But I didn't get out of my seat because I knew it was another part coming. After they showed that, like, I knew there was going to be some extra to the movie. So then you got a chance to see this whole conversation like during the mid credits. Like, you got a chance to see this conversation between Batman, Ben Affleck, and Amanda Waller, Viola Davis. Like, you got a chance to see the conversation between them, and he was pretty much telling her that the Suicide Squad is dead or whatever, or they're meaningless pretty much, and he was gonna build a Justice League. So, I don't know how that's gonna play out, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I would love to see another Suicide Squad movie. I would love to see, truthfully, a Deadshot movie, and I'm living for a Harley Quinn Joker movie, because I know it's gonna be so on point. People complain. I heard a lot of different reviews where they were saying that Jared Leto's Joker was not in this movie as long. But I mean, it was pretty much what it was. I mean, the movie was centered around the Suicide Squad, which Harley Quinn was a part of the Suicide Squad, not the Joker. But in order to understand Harley Quinn, you have to know the Joker has to be a part of it in some type of way. So, I mean, from what Jared Leto, the amount of time that he was in the movie, some people say it was 12 minutes. I don't know. I didn't time it while I was watching it. I'm trying to get my life watching this movie. But for what it was awesome to me. Like, it was hands down one of the best movies in the year. It's not over yet, but it's one of the best movies that I have seen this year. And I've seen a lot of movies this year. So, but this is hands down like one of the best movies that I've seen this year, and I was happy with it. Toward the end, at the end of the day, Suicide Squad, they defeated the Enchantress or whatever. But I mean, who knows? The bitch could probably resurrect again and come back. I mean, if she been living all those thousands of years ago, who knows what's gonna happen? So we'll see. And I mean, if they decide to make another one, I will be there. I'll be there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, Suicide Squad, I say it was pretty fucking dope. And if you've seen Suicide Squad, please let me know in the comments below what you think about it. How did you feel about the Joker, the characters, whoever. Let me know for watching.